Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I'm so excited to have you all here for this final term of this final year. Really excited to be here. It's going to be a fun class. We get to talk about a lot of different debates, and we get to see a lot of different visuals and take things from a lot of different perspectives. And I know this may seem like a class that might be like, oh, well, we're going to talk about visuals, and it may not be that interesting. But it's not, because we're going to enlighten ourselves on a lot of different ways to see things, and we're going to see a lot of different elements that how we may interpret it, but also others may interpret it, and then we can build visuals, documentation, videos, animations, whatever you want to do, so that we can really attract that audience and those people that we want to send the message to. And it's very important because visuals matter in everything. We write down a lot of stuff, but we really see and communicate things visually more than anything else. And that's really crucial because of the fact that we need to know who our audience is and what they are. And this can mean a lot from, say, from my perspective, because I build video games. I need to teach someone how to use a system without having to teach them. And that's kind of hard to do for visuals. For a nurse, you may have to build a chart system one day for all your nurses to understand. You have to create those visuals and that layout to make sense for your nurses. If you're in business and you want to do marketing and you want to create visuals to attract viewers, you want to create that certain target market, right? And create that specific visual to really attract those customers to your product. And that's what you want to go for. And those are the visuals I'm talking about. These can be used for anything. And it could be for communicating for your own family, but we can do and understand these visuals further to create clear, concise communication for down the road. And that's what we're going to talk about, a lot of great things. So, hi, if you haven't noticed me before, my name is Adam Rozeski, and I'm going to be teaching for the next 6 weeks, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get into it. So again, my name is Adam Rozeski. You don't have to call me Professor Rozeski. You do not have to try to pronounce my last name. It's kind of long. And if you do try to understand how to pronounce it, I'm probably going to tell you it's pronounced Smith, just because I like to have fun with it, and it's a lot. You can just call me Adam. We're all adults here. It's not a big deal. Just be straight and forward with me. I'm going to be straight and forward with you, especially with my feedback. So I may be a little thorough with it, but it's only to help you out. So please don't feel like it can be a little tough at times. It's just I'm very straightforward, and I want to make sure that you learn everything as possible. So it makes sense. So please review my feedback after every assignment. I give personalized feedback to everyone. So that way you know what you did or what you did right, and you can fix it or repeat that same behavior, and that's all that matters. But yeah, a little bit of background about me. I started all sorts of jobs. Originally, I was a candidate for the NHL and Penn State's college team, and I made it up to Division I, but tore my knees out, and I was going for mechanical engineering at Penn State. Then I got my associate's degree in that, actually, since I unfortunately got injured. But I still played hockey over the years, and I still do it. Just not as fast as I used to. And that was like 15 years ago, almost 16 years. Wow. Time flies, man. But yeah, so I started all sorts of jobs. I was a competitive gamer after that. I worked in the airlines a lot, did a lot of groundwork. I was the guy that brought in planes. But then I was a big gamer. My dad got me into video games when I was really young, like Legend of Zelda and Super Mario and the Nintendo. And I'm talking about the original NES, not like Super Nintendo or N64. I was an original Atari and Nintendo player. That's where I started. But yeah, over time after I left Penn State, I was a pretty big gamer. Competed in a lot of tournaments like Gran Turismo. I'm talking about like Gran Turismo 2 and 3, a little bit like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Battlefront 2, multiple MMOs like World of Warcraft, EverQuest, Star Wars Galaxies, Aeon. I bounced around. But then I noticed I'm such a big person in games. I wanted to get into video games. I just didn't know what route about it. So I ended up going to UCF and Full Sail. I tried out Full Sail at first. And I learned some coding, but I learned I'm not a programmer. But I'm a really good, I plan out projects and I plan out ideas and processes very well. So I learned I wanted to get into project management. And so I went to UCF, got my bachelor's degree in entertainment business, and wrote a bunch of project plans for my dissertations over there, and then got salutatorian, so I was second best in my class. It was a cool day. It was the first time I think I ever got my name pronounced properly on stage, so that was cool. And then I went into the master's degree at Full Sail. Got my master's in project management and game design, even though my loans are still, crying to me about it, but it's okay. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Got my then I got into Activision, worked on Hearthstone, Call of Duty as a QA guy, worked my way up as a gameplay analyst into years, and worked on The Sims and Battlefield for a little bit. Then I got moved up as a usability analyst to Canada. Yeah, it was Canada. Yeah. Worked in Canada for 6 to 8 months, worked on NHL, FIFA, Need for Speed. I touched everybody. And then I got on the UXTL team, did some user design work, and then got some credits on design for NCAA. We did some work on Mass Effect and Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition. We also did, what else did we do? Yeah, worked on Madden for a few years, bounced around a lot. Then I left the A, worked for Burnout Game Ventures, started teaching, and also did some consultant work and worked for Universal for a while as a ground operations supervisor. Did something a little different, but it taught me a lot about organization. It just kind of like people management. That's a good way. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, now I still teach, do some consultant work, but I now work for a company called Wason, and we do mobile game development, and we do a lot of publishing, and I'm a project manager for them currently. I currently manage 4 projects, and hopefully a couple are going to be released soon to the Europe and Middle East area, so I'm really excited about that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Just starting up with some startup companies and really getting moving around, and hopefully adding what I've learned over the past 10 years of my career and really starting on new. So that's pretty much where I'm at in my career. But yeah, we get to have that adventure together, and we get a lot. So yeah, let's talk about what we're going to be doing. So yeah, this week we'll talk more about visual communication. But we're just going to be talking about the different types of how we communicate visually and how to go about that. But let me talk about the different assignments that we have. So we have 3 types of assignments. They're discussions, written assignments, and course projects. Obviously, you know about discussions. They're always in every class. You can never avoid them, especially in an online lecture, I know. But I always post my discussions. Your initial post will always be on Tuesday. That's always going to be due on Tuesday. And your reply post is going to be due on Saturday always. The only difference is that for your first week, your initial post is going to be due on Saturday instead of Tuesday. But weeks 2 through 6, that'll be Tuesday always. The only other difference is for the final day, which is Friday of the final week of December, which is December 17th. That'll be it. Your reply post will be due that day. That's pretty much it. That's also the last day you can turn in any assignments, so that's a thing. I don't know if you knew. But yeah, so please make sure to have all your assignments turned in on that for your discussions. We also have written assignments, so they're paper assignments. Please use APA formatting. Please do not use first or second person viewpoints. I'm pretty heavy about that. Make sure you review 7th edition APA and how that's done with referencing and how the papers are structured, because they're going to be followed by that format. So make sure that follows that concept. So that's my warning right there, so keep that in mind. We'll talk more about it on Lecture 1. That way you know more. And yeah, they're always going to be doing a Sunday for written assignments, except for the last day, which will be Friday of week 6. Same thing. And then also we have course projects. There's course projects. They're pretty big, but don't worry, I'll set you up with everything and tell you what they are once we get to it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll give you an introduction to the course project here in the back end of this announcement. But yeah, they should be modules 4 and 5. So they're going to be due on Sundays. So yeah. So yeah, before we get into the course project work, so live lectures. That's right. So live lectures are always going to take place on Tuesday each week, except for week 1, because it starts on a Wednesday. That's a thing. So you're going to have your first lecture on Thursday. Now note, your first lecture is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, but that's the only time it's going to be different. And the times are on the announcement. I always post an announcement of the lecture with the link and the time. You can also find the time and the link on the actual assignment in each module, and also on the calendar as well, with the links that are going to be for that. So if you have any questions, concerns, that's what we have. But yeah, the first lecture is going to be at a different time on Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. Central, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. But the rest of the lectures from week 2 to 6 will be always on Tuesday. And they'll always be from 7 p.m. Central to 8 p.m., 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty much how it's going to be. So just an hour later on Tuesday every week, except for the first week, which will be Thursday. That should be at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. So keep that in mind. But yeah, every other week it's going to be 8 p.m. But if you have any questions or any lectures, I always have my announcements ready to go. That way you're good. But yeah, for this week though, week 1, it'll be Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. But they should change on Tuesdays, and they'll go to 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central from then on out. That's it. But yeah, so if you do miss a lecture, what do you do about that? Well, we have recordings, and I always post them at the end of the night or the morning next day. So you should have them ready to go, because having your recordings is really important, because you need to record your live lecture for your attendance. Well, how do I do that? Well, there's an assignment, and you're going to post a 1 to 2 sentence description of what we did in that lecture. I'll show you how to do that during lecture on Thursday. They're 10 points per lecture, so make sure you do those. They're really simple. They're always due on Sunday at the end of the week. Please fill them out. 1 to 2 sentences on what was the lecture about, what'd you do, if you liked my lecture, if you didn't, why, explain why, and then that way we can make it awesome. But other than that, that's how you're going to record your attendance. I'll show you how to do that. Make sure you do that by each week. And note, if you do not do your lecture attendance, there's no late points or nothing. That's your attendance. So if you don't have it done by that Sunday, it's an automatic 0. But again, we'll go over that in a lecture on Thursday, so that way you know about that. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it piece by piece, so that way you don't miss out on some easy points. And then finally, we have our course project. So our course project is going to be a big one. It's a big, like, 6-page paper with your your cover and your reference page. It actually turns into like 8 pages. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing a observational project paper by building a thesis on how the paper is going to be written. And it's going to be about visual communication on one website you use frequently, like the Apple website or Google, or say, for example, if you like Universal, you can do Universal Parks. And their website. That's one thing. You're going to be doing that. You're going to be doing a paper, and you're going to be analyzing every single visual or the website about its visuals, and 5 different elements: sensory responses, perceptual responses, technical responses, emotional responses, and ethical responses. And we'll go over all those responses and how visuals trigger those responses as we go through the class. And I'll explain more when we get to the course project. I'll set you up with examples, show you how to do it, help you write a thesis. I'm definitely going to go about that. So if you have any questions, concerns, let me know. And I'll make sure everything's set up and announced and give you a heads up when we're going to get to that stuff. So a lot of things, a lot of great things. Yeah, and so just some class expectations. Just do keep in mind, any late assignments, they're 10% of the grade each day it's late. If it reaches 7 days, it's a 0. So please let me know and contact me ahead of time. Do not wait till the last moment. Do not wait till like week 5 or week 4 when you haven't turned in any assignments and you want to try and help out. Please contact me early. I can help you out better during those times, so make sure about that. The other things is just be courteous and respectful on discussion posts. I like constructive I like constructive feedback. So the more feedback you give, please give examples, details. It's something I do. The more points I'm going to give you on your grades for your discussions is the more effort you put into it. I like seeing at least 2 to 3 paragraphs per post. So the more details you give, the more effort I'm going to give for your points. So that's something to keep in mind with. And I only have ever 2 rules. This discover and have fun, and that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going to go over our week 1 assignments and discussions and lecture always. So I'm going to go over them on Thursday. And I'm going to show you where to find the due dates in specific areas for those and during lecture as well. Other than that, that's all I got, my friends. So I'm really excited to have you all here. So do keep in mind that we have our lecture on Thursday. It's posted on the announcements where you can find the link and everything. If you have any questions on where to find that, let me know. But I'm excited to see everybody for Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. All right, everybody. Be safe, have fun. Really excited to have y'all here, and let's have a great end of the quarter. Enjoy, everybody. Be safe.